All right, Dante, 3 combined goals allowed in the last couple of games. What is this team doing well defensively right now?
I think we're just being aggressive, obviously trying to shut plays down early. And yeah, big credit to our forwards. I think, a big emphasis was on our F3, kind of in the O zone and coming back and tracking well. And seems to help, obviously, the decoy out a lot to try and squeeze and end plays early.
As far as the team defense goes, what are maybe the next steps for you guys?
Obviously, just continue to add layers to our game. And, I don't think everything's perfect out there, but for the most part, I think we've been doing a really good job. So there's always room for improvement. But, again, just continuing to, shut plays down, forcing teams to dump pucks into areas where we can retrieve it. And, for the most part, we've been doing pretty well.
As a defenseman, how does it feel to know that the goaltenders have been very, very solid behind you guys?
Yeah, it's definitely obviously a boost of confidence for our team to have them playing well, and a big part of it is allowing them seeing the puck to see the puck, and but for the most part they've been really solid. Obviously moving pucks and making plays back there and making stops when we need big stops. So it's been a lot of fun to watch them play.
Eric Goodbranson coming back. It's a new opportunity for you to play with him. I know you haven't done it a whole lot, but what have you learned about Goody so far?
Yeah, obviously he's a big part of our decor and a big part of our team. So to have his presence out on the ice and the way he plays the game, physical, sound, moves pucks really well, and a big vocal guy for us on the bench. So for me, I'm excited to play with him and kind of get things going.
I feel like this team knows the Washington Capitals very well. You played them at the end of last season in a couple of huge games. So what makes playing this team challenging?
Yeah, they're big, fast, skilled. They kind of have a little bit of mix of everything. So, obviously it's a good test for us tonight to kind of hit the ground running tonight. But yeah, I mean they're obviously they've made the playoffs a bunch and they had a good run last year. So throughout regular season, but I mean, like you said, we've played them quite a bit, and it seems in the last little while here. But yeah, they're just excited to get back out there and play again, and it'll be fun tonight.
You played him tough last year. You beat him a couple of times to finish the season. So, what's the key, do you think, to shutting this team down?
I think just sticking to our identity and figuring out how we need to play and establish our game early. So. Whether just getting pucks in deep or, establishing our forecheck. And like I said, with our D zone and just closing things down early and not allowing them to have time and space out there.
All right, Dante, thanks for this. Good luck tonight.
Thank you.
In the last 2 games, your team has played pretty well in the third period, protecting leads and building leads. I'm wondering if you could tell me what's behind their strength in the third period here recently.
I don't know if we put emphasis. We just trying to play the right way, trying to be sound defensively. We've did a lot of work, obviously. We've talked about it a lot and, talked about playing well in all 3 zones and doing the right things and staying on the right side of people. And fortunately, we've been able to keep the puck out of the net.
Well, people, I think, assume a lot of times it's easy to play next to a player like Werenski. Do you get the sense that it is, or does it take a certain player?
You could play with Z. Come on.
That's not true. Does it take a certain mindset and a certain kind of player?
I don't think so. No, I think you play the same way. I mean, system doesn't change. You don't, just because you're playing with somebody else, you play the game the same way. And if you're referring to Matty, obviously, it's he doesn't get intimidated by anything like that. He just goes about his business and plays hard and plays well. And yeah, do I think it's easy to play with Z? I'm sure it is, because he breaks the puck out, you give him the puck, and you can watch him for the most part. Maybe you got to back him up a bit when he goes on the offense. But we ask all our D to get involved offensively, and when they do, they need to get backed up by a forward. And maybe his partner has to be a little more careful because he does like to jump into the play. But same system.
You mentioned this summer, forgive me if I don't phrase this correctly, but equipping your team with a style of play that in back-to-backs may allow you to play the second night in a way that's, I don't know if it's conserve energy or require less energy or what. Does that impact the first game at all, or is that just a second game consideration?
Well, the biggest thing from take from last year is we didn't stay in hockey games, right? I mean, we were out of games early in first period, first 10 minutes, and we want to do the right things, and that doesn't mean being passive or not being aggressive. It's just a couple of tweaks that we have talked about and systematically that maybe we can hold ourselves in games, not shoot ourselves. But end of the day, we'll worry about tomorrow when we get to tomorrow. Obviously, puck drops tonight, we play hard.
Any lineup changes tonight?
Goody's Goodbranson's going to play tonight, and Jet in net.
Dean Alex Ovechkin is going to play his 1,500th game tomorrow night. You know him, obviously. How do you kind of conceptualize that milestone for him?
I think it's amazing. I mean, I was very fortunate to come into the NHL or back to the NHL as a coach the same year Alex came in. So it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun to be around him, to watch him not only play hockey games, but to watch him as a teammate and how he trained and competed, and I think the biggest take is that he's a wonderful teammate and still is, right? Plays hard every night. He's a good person. So obviously he's had an amazing career, and it's still going, and we just hope he doesn't score tonight.
Who else?
Thanks, guys.